Hello everyone, this is Eye on Africa for Friday, January 21st. Here are the headlines. Authorities send aid to the site of that massive explosion in western Ghana. 13 people are reported to have died, but early reports suggest quick thinking by the truck driver and police helped avert a much bigger disaster. Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta is laid to rest in Bamako. The former president of Mali died on Sunday at the age of 76. France 24's James Andre will join us from the country's capital in just a moment. And all eyes are on the Africa Cup of Nations for 2 more weeks, but we take you now to one of Cameroon's top football clubs. After dominating the country, it now wants to take on the continent. We'll have that story coming up. Authorities in Ghana have sent aid to Apiate, the town that was devastated by a massive blast on Thursday. At least 13 people were killed in that explosion, which happened when a truck carrying dynamite for a nearby mine blew up after a motorcycle crashed into it. Shirley Sitbon has the very latest.
The scope of the devastation left Apiate in shock. The explosion blew dozens of homes away. And these images show that an even greater disaster may have been averted. When the truck filled with explosives had a collision in circumstances that are still being examined, the driver and police officers escorting the shipment alerted residents to evacuate the area fast. By the time the truck exploded, most people had left for a safe location.
And the police escort assisted the driver in making sure that they alerted members of the public. The policeman was part of those who came to the school to whisk the school children away.
Investigators are examining the circumstances of the blast. A motorcycle is believed to have crashed into the truck. A roadside power transformer may have also played a role in the explosion.
A major disaster befell us yesterday, and that is why His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, asked me to lead this government delegation to come and see what we are going to do for the people.
Residents whose homes have been destroyed were taken to schools and gymnasiums nearby Bogoso until they can get new housing. Authorities have brought aid, including food, blankets, and mattresses.
To Nigeria now, where local residents say fighters belonging to the Islamic State West Africa province have kidnapped 20 children in the northeastern Borno state. The assault happened on Thursday. The jihadists, dressed in military uniforms, shot and looted shops before setting homes on fire. They also shot 2 people dead. According to one resident, the militants gathered the 20 kidnapped children in a truck before driving them into the forest nearby. A recent UNICEF report says around 1,500 school children were taken in 20 mass kidnappings just last year. Most hostages, though, were thankfully released. Mali's former president was laid to rest this Friday. Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta died on Sunday at the age of 76. He led the country until 2020 when he was ousted in a coup. During his time in power, the country saw a sharp rise in jihadist violence. France 24's James Andre joins us now live from Bamako. James, you were at the funeral today. How did the country pay tribute to its former president?
Well, indeed, there was a state ceremony that was organized in a military base here in Bamako, in central Bamako, and there are about 2,000 people in attendance. Most of the important people in the country were there. There were no foreign delegations. That's important to note. Indeed, some had imagined that maybe people in charge in neighboring countries, including those of ECOWAS, might attend. The only foreign representation was from Guinea. It was the Foreign Affairs Minister who had come to send a message of backing to the junta here in Mali. Indeed, it's important to remember that Guinea is pretty much in the same situation as Mali, having had a coup in September 2021. Now, the strongman of the country also was not present. Ibrahim Keïta, the head of the transition government, did not attend today officially. He could not be there, but there were no precisions as to the reasons why. So there were, of course, a host of speeches paying respects to the statesman that ruled the country from 2013 to 2020, had indeed to fight a very sharp uprising in terrorism in the north of the country, and that indeed died on Sunday, aged 76. The next phase of this burial took place at his private house, a very large estate in the northeastern part of Bamako. There were thousands of people there to pay a last tribute along with his family, and former President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta was indeed buried on the grounds of his property, where he spent the last months of his life keeping away from the public eye until he died last Sunday, age 76.
James Andre, they're reporting from the Malian capital on the funeral, of the former Malian president. Millions of Senegalese citizens will be heading to the polls this Sunday to cast their ballots in municipal and departmental elections. They were postponed many times, and this will be the first vote since the re-election of President Macky Sall. All eyes will be on the capital, Dakar. Parties are fighting hard to win that city hall. Sarah Sako and Eliman Indao have this report.
It's the final stretch before the end of the campaign. Abdoulaye Diouf Sarr is drumming up support at the ruling party's headquarters. The Minister of Health, a candidate of the presidential coalition, is confident that he will win.
We have every chance on the evening of January 23, 2022, to ensure that Dakar is managed by a mayor who is Boubacar, a mayor who takes care of the intrinsic realities of the people of Dakar.
To take Dakar, which has been in the hands of the opposition for years, the ruling party's candidate is focusing on community outreach. Parcelles Assainies is the capital's largest constituency. Here, Abdoulaye Diouf Sarr promises a more inclusive policy, safer neighbourhoods and a cleaner city.
He's with the youth, he's with our mothers.
All the young people are united by what Diouf Sarr will do for the mayor's office in Dakar.
We are not afraid of Barthélemy. Here it is, Diouf Sarr, and we will win.
Barthélemy Diaz, or Bart as he's popularly known, is the other favourite in these municipal elections in Dakar. He's campaigning alongside Khalifa Sall, a former mayor who was deposed after a judicial conviction. Since Sall is ineligible, the large opposition coalition is betting everything on Bart to keep the capital.
We've decided to regain our dignity by voting for Barthélemy Diaz and by voting for the Yewi Askanwi coalition, which embodies hope and the future.
A smart city, greener spaces, cleanliness and parking. His programme has seduced its fair share of followers.
Barthélemy Diaz will give his best for the mayor of Dakar, for the youth of his country, for the women of his country, for all of Dakar.
He is young like us, and the youth needs a change.
Doudou Wade of the PDS, the party of former President Abdoulaye Wade, the former mayor, Pape Diop, and Soham Al-Wardini, the only female candidate, are also in the running for mayor of Dakar, one of the major stakes of these municipal elections.
As you probably know by now, the Africa Cup of Nations is in full swing. Host nation Cameroon will be back on the field on Monday to face the Comoros. So far, the competition's top goal scorer is Vincent Aboubakar, the current captain of the Indomitable Lions. Let's take you now to the COTON Sport of CAROUA, the football club where he began his career back in 2009. The team has dominated Cameroonian football for years. Their next goal is to conquer the continent. Regina Sando sent us this report.
In the fiery sun of northern Cameroon, the first team of Coton Sport Football Club of CAROUA is training this morning ahead of the CAF Confederations Cup. On the sidelines of the 2021 African Cup of Nations, the defending champions of the Cameroon Championship are stepping up their training under the supervision of coach Souleymane Aboubakar.
We are the only club in the country at the moment to take part in the championship. Normally, AFCON should not disturb us, given that just after this AFCON, we will play an African competition from the 13th. We play against Al Masry of Egypt. We have to be in good shape.
The club's new ambition is to prove itself on the continental stage. In 20 years, the top-flight club of the North region has become the most successful club in the country's football history, with 16 Division 1 championship titles and 6 National Cup trophies. Those trophies are displayed at the club headquarters, which the president proudly shows us.
So, here we're in the boardroom, and we have a trophy display case. Almost all of our big trophies are here since the creation of the club in 1986. Over here you have a picture of 2 of our great players from Coton Sport, Sally Edgar, ABOUBAKAR Vincent. ABOUBAKAR Vincent was still playing with the Indomitable Lions.
The star striker and captain of Cameroon's national team is currently the top scorer at the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations. The 29-year-old is among numerous outstanding talents trained by Coton Sport. 12 years later, he expressed his gratitude to the club at this hotel where the Lions are staying.
I owe everything to Coton Sport, a club that has also propelled me to sign at Valenciennes. I think it is a club that has impacted me a lot during my career.
For Coton Sport, Vincent Aboubakar is a symbol of success. His resounding achievements have inspired young people in Cameroon, especially in CAROUA, where he played football for the first time.
Before we say goodbye, some news from the animal kingdom. Twin baby elephants were born this week in a natural reserve in northern Kenya. Why is that news, you may ask? Well, according to the charity called Save the Elephants, twins account for less than 1% of all elephant births, and it's the first recorded birth of twins since 2006. Unfortunately, back then, those 2 did not survive. Quite often, the mothers don't have enough milk to support both calves. The charity founder says this is a critical time for their survival and that everyone has their fingers crossed. And so do we, of course. We wish them well. We hope they make it. That does it for this edition of Eye on Africa. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more news right here on France 24.